Have you ever heard of the Incredibles theory?
No, what is that?
Edna Mode's the best superhero in the Incredibles.
What?
You know like how she's known for making superhero suits?
Yeah.
So in her early years, she actually made a suit for a hero named Stratigale. Stratigale was a teenager who had super strength and could fly, but unfortunately she died because her cape got stuck into an airplane engine.
Oh, I remember that from the movie.
So ever since then, Edna Mode swore to never put capes on suits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this is where the theory comes in.
Uh-huh.
Years later, there's this guy that comes up to Edna Mode and says, "Hey, can you make me a suit? I'm a big fan of Mr. Incredible. Can you help me out?" Edna Mode's like, "Sure." But there's something about this guy that's like really sketchy and makes Edna Mode feel like, oh, there's some evil in this guy.
Oh.
So she builds him the suit, but she purposely puts a cape on the suit knowing that it will hurt him one day.
What?
That guy becomes Syndrome.
No way.
And we all know how Syndrome dies. His cape gets stuck onto the airplane engine just like Stratigale.
Dude, that makes so much sense.
And that's why Edna Mode's the ultimate hero of the story.
Dude, we gotta give Edna more credit, man.
Right? Have you ever heard of the Finding Nemo theory?
No.
This is gonna ruin your day.
Oh, here we go.
So we all know the movie Finding Nemo is about a father fish named Marlin and his son Nemo. And it's Marlin's journey in finding Nemo after he was taken by scuba divers.
Right.
This is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Nemo's not real and never existed.
How does that work?
It's actually Marlin's imagination because he's grieving over the death of his wife and all his kids.
What?
And to make everything worse, the word Nemo in Latin means no one. So Disney's literally telling the audience we have a movie called Finding Nemo, but actually means finding no one because Nemo's not real.
No.
And that's why Dory is such a good friend of Marlin because she has short-term memory loss and can't remember that Nemo's not real.
That makes so much sense now. That didn't even ruin my day. That ruined my whole childhood.
I'm sorry. Have you ever heard of the Incredibles theory?
No, what is that?
Edna Mode's the best superhero in the Incredibles.
What?
You know like how she's known for making superhero suits?
Yeah.
So in her early years, she actually made a suit for a hero named Stratigale. Stratigale was a teenager who had super strength and could fly, but unfortunately she died because her cape got stuck into an airplane engine.
Oh, I remember that from the movie.
So ever since then, Edna Mode swore to never put capes on suits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this is where the theory comes in.
Uh-huh.
Years later, there's this guy that comes up to Edna Mode and says, "Hey, can you make me a suit? I'm a big fan of Mr. Incredible. Can you help me out?" Edna Mode's like, "Sure." But there's something about this guy that's like really sketchy and makes Edna Mode feel like, oh, there's some evil in this guy.
Oh.
So she builds him the suit, but she purposely puts a cape on the suit knowing that it will hurt him one day.
What?
That guy becomes Syndrome.
No way.
And we all know how Syndrome dies. His cape gets stuck onto the airplane engine just like Stratigale.
Dude, that makes so much sense.
And that's why Edna Mode's the ultimate hero of the story.
Dude, we gotta give Edna more credit, man.
Right? Have you ever heard of the Hannah Montana theory?
Bro, I love Hannah Montana.
So as you know, Hannah Montana was a show about Miley Stewart who lived a regular life by day, but at night she was a pop star named Hannah Montana.
Right.
What's cool is like how no one knew she was Hannah Montana. It was like a secret identity.
Yeah.
So this is where the theory comes in. And basically the theory is that the entire show of Hannah Montana, all the friends she made, everything she went through, all the songs she wrote, never actually happened. It was all fake.
What?
So Disney actually released an alternate ending to the show where you see a young Miley playing with the doll and her dad walks into her room. But he calls her Miley Cyrus.
No.
Doesn't call her by her show name Miley Stewart.
What?
Revealing that Miley Stewart, Hannah Montana, weren't actually real. Actually, it was Miley Cyrus's imagination of her dream of one day becoming a pop star.
And she made it.
She made it.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So have you ever heard of the Toy Story theory?
I've heard different ones.
Okay, so this is a sad one.
Oh gosh.
So you know how we never see a father figure for Andy in the movies?
Yeah.
So the theory is that in the first movie, Andy's parents are actually going through a divorce. And before the dad left, he wanted to leave Andy something, so he left him Woody.
He's like, sorry, I don't love your mom anymore, but here's Woody.
Yeah, so this is where it gets crazy. Andy's mom has a new boyfriend, and he knows how much Andy loves Woody, but he wants Andy to love him too. So what does he do? He goes out and he finds the next best toy, Buzz Lightyear, and he gets him it for his birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And throughout the movie, we constantly see Woody and Buzz competing to be Andy's favorite toy. And Woody's always scared that he's going to be replaced by Buzz.
Yeah, you could tell like Woody's jealous of Buzz.
Right, so the theory is too that the writers intended for Woody to represent Andy's real dad and for Buzz to represent the mom's new boyfriend. And they're constantly competing to be Andy's favorite parent.
Dang, that's deep.
But after all the hard things they go through together, Woody and Buzz finally realize it's about just being there for Andy and doing what's best for him.
Wow, that actually makes the movie better.
Right? And now we get to see them live as a happy family.
Until they get sent off to Bonnie's house. Have you ever heard of the Phineas and Ferb theory?
No, what is that?
This is gonna ruin your day again.
Again?
We all know Phineas and Ferb is about two brothers that go on these crazy adventures, and their sister Candace always tries to get them in trouble.
Right.
But this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Phineas is actually dead and isn't really there.
Okay, no way.
It's actually Candace's imagination because she misses her brother Phineas and wishes he was there for Ferb.
What?
You know like how the show says there's 104 days of summer?
Yeah.
There's actually 189 episodes, so how does that make sense?
Wait, what the heck?
The show was on for 4 seasons. The kids stay the same age. They never age. You know why?
Why?
Because Candace only remembers Phineas at that age because that's the age she died. She never saw him get older, so she doesn't know what he looks like.
No.
Whenever Phineas and Ferb are doing something crazy, Candace is always like, "Mom, look at what they're doing." And the mom doesn't see anything. She's like, "What are you talking about?" She feels bad for Candace because she knows she's just imagining her brother because she misses him.
What? Why does this make so much sense?
I know, it's so sad.
Did you know the movie Cars might have predicted the future?
What do you mean?
So you know how we see no humans in the movie?
Yeah.
So the theory is that all the cars wiped out the human population and they take the personality of the person that once owned them.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And look at Tesla, right? The new Model S that hasn't come out yet is going to have no gear shifter and no turn signals. It's going to have nothing. It's just going to know where to go based on what's around it.
I know, I heard about that. It's going to know when you want to go forward or you want to go backwards.
Dude, it's going to read your mind.
That's nuts. And there's Neuralink now.
I was just about to get into that. So Neuralink, right, successfully made a monkey understand and play a video game. And Elon Musk even said that one day Neuralink will be able to link to your Tesla.
Could you imagine that there's like a cord that goes from your brain into your car and you plug it right in?
And that's how they'll get the personality.
That's so scary.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, if you want to buy a Tesla, you better be extra nice to your car because it might turn on you.
That thing might kill you, man.
It seriously might. Have you ever heard of the Frozen theory?
No, what is that?
So we all know the movie Frozen is about Elsa and Anna, and it's like a really happy movie. But this theory is really dark.
Oh boy.
You know how Kristoff and Sven are like best friends? They grew up together?
Yeah.
So this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Kristoff's guardians, the ice harvesters, actually killed Sven's mom.
What?
You see throughout the movie that Kristoff's wearing this jacket, and it's actually made out of reindeer fur. And that fur is Sven's mom.
No.
The theory is that the ice harvesters killed Sven's mom for her fur for Kristoff's jacket, but felt bad for Sven, so kept him as a pet for Kristoff.
Oh my gosh.
What makes this even more sad is that Sven could smell his mom on Kristoff's jacket, and that's why he trusts Kristoff and feels like there's attachment to him.
Dude, this is so sad.
I know, it's really sad.
What if I told you everything in the show Stranger Things was real?
What do you mean?
So we know it takes place in the 1980s, in the middle of the Cold War.
Right.
So it's based on a military base called Camp Hero in Montauk, New York, where they would conduct human experiments to help fight in the Cold War.
They're trying to like create the Avengers?
Yeah. So what they would do is they would kidnap children and test them for mind control, telekinesis, and telepathy. And who do we know in the show that has that power? 11.
Oh my god. So 11 was real.
Maybe. And the creators of the show, the Duffer Brothers, actually wanted to call the show the Montauk Project, but Netflix didn't let them.
I wonder if Netflix was like, no, that's too real.
Yeah. But to confirm this, in 1995, President Clinton had to publicly apologize for the events that happened at Camp Hero.
Dang, that's scary.
Who else knows what's out there, man?
So there's another crazy Incredibles movie theory.
Oh, let's hear it.
You know Violet from The Incredibles?
Yeah.
She's not Mr. Incredible's daughter.
Okay, what?
Mr. Incredible has blonde hair, Mrs. Incredible has ginger hair, Dash has blonde hair, and Jack has blonde hair. Violet has jet black hair.
Wait.
It's super, super rare for a dad to have blonde hair and the mom to have ginger hair and their daughter to have jet black hair.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so listen to this. Throughout their entire house, right? There's photos of the family. And there's no photos of anybody outside their family except one photo. Mrs. Incredible has a photo on her dresser with this guy. And this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Mrs. Incredible had an affair early on in her relationship with Mr. Incredible with her pilot Snug.
No.
Remember in the first movie when Mr. Incredible needs help? Who does she call? She calls Snug because she trusts him.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
And to make things even worse, guess what color hair Snug has?
What?
Jet black hair.
Oh my. Do you know the show Blue's Clues isn't a kid's show at all?
What do you mean?
So you know the main character Steve?
Yeah.
So there's a theory that he takes drugs to make himself hallucinate.
What?
Yeah, think about it. So throughout the show, we see him have conversations with things that aren't real at all. Like Salt and Pepper, he talks to a mailbox, and then he's always jumping through paintings.
What, you can't jump through paintings either?
Stop. But when he leaves the show, they say he's going to college, right? But the theory is that he's actually going to rehab. Because you're going to tell me a 32-year-old man is graduating high school right now?
Wait, what? He was 32?
He was 32.
Oh my gosh.
You know why no one likes the Chum Bucket in SpongeBob?
Why?
So I read this fandom post by SpongeBob Lover 04, right?
With that name, it better be a good theory.
Yeah, so the theory is that the Chum Bucket runs on cannibalism.
What?
Like, do you know what chum is?
It's like the bait they use to catch like sharks and stuff.
Right, do you know how it's made?
No.
It's ground up fish.
What?
So the theory is that Plankton secretly kills fish and grinds them up and puts it in his burger.
Oh my gosh.
Right, that's why no one likes it, because they're eating themselves.
Yeah, no one's ever in his restaurant. It's always just him and his robot.
Dude, it's cannibalism.
It's worse than McDonald's.
Oh my.
Have you ever heard of the Fairly Odd Parents theory?
No.
So we all know the show's about Timmy Turner and his fairy godparents and how his parents don't care about him and his babysitter's always messing with him.
Right.
I saw a video by Watch Mojo, and this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Cosmo and Wanda aren't actually there.
What?
And actually, Timmy's going through depression and needs medication, so Cosmo and Wanda are actually his antidepressant medication.
Oh my gosh.
So Cosmo represents a medication called Prozac, and Wanda represents a medication called Zoloft.
Wait, isn't Prozac a green pill?
Yeah, it's an antidepressant. You know what else is super crazy? The only time you see Cosmo and Wanda in this show is when Timmy's in trouble and needs help.
Yeah.
Because that's when Timmy's having anxiety and needs his antidepressants.
Wait, that makes so much sense.
And just like medication, when you use over the suggested amount, things go wrong for your body and it could be really bad.
Right.
And that's why whenever Cosmo and Wanda use too much of their powers to help Timmy, things go wrong and the show gets out of control.
Wait, now that I think about it, Cosmo and Wanda are always like, are you sure you want to do this to me? It might be dangerous.
They're trying to warn him not to use too much of our powers because it could go wrong for you. But they have to do it anyways because he's taking it.
Oh my gosh, how did I never see that?
I know, it's crazy.
Have you ever heard of the Lilo and Stitch theory?
No.
So we know that Lilo and Nani's parents passed away from a car accident, right?
Right.
So you ever wonder why Mr. Bubbles, the social worker, is always checking on Lilo and Nani?
Why?
Okay, so I read this article, and the theory is that Lilo and Nani's parents were actually CIA agents that worked with Mr. Bubbles. And before they died, they instructed him that if anything happens to them, he has to take care of Lilo and Nani.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And at the end of the movie, Mr. Bubbles even tells Nani that he was a CIA agent that used to work with aliens.
Right, I remember that.
Right? Which is why the Grand Councilwoman recognized him. And don't you think it's kind of weird? He went from CIA agent to someone who takes care of kids that have no parents.
Especially how he became a social worker right after Lilo and Nani's parents passed away.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Have you heard of the Frozen theory?
Which one?
This is a good one. So I read this article, and remember at the beginning of the film, we see Elsa and Anna's parents going on a boat for a voyage?
Right.
But what people don't know is that Elsa and Anna's mom's actually pregnant, and at some point at sea, she has a baby boy.
What?
Remember how we see Elsa and Anna's parents' boat like in a huge sea storm, and it caused their boat to sink?
Yeah.
So this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that the baby boy they have at sea is actually Tarzan.
Wait, what?
And that they used the rescue rowboat to get to a nearby jungle.
Wait, I thought they died though.
That's what people think, but when you look at a map, Scandinavia, where Elsa and Anna's from, is right above Africa. So probably after the storm, the closest place to go was the African jungle.
What?
And what makes this theory even crazier is that the director of the film, Jennifer Lee, confirmed that Tarzan is Elsa and Anna's long-lost brother.
No.
So it's not a theory, it's actually a fact.
Wait, that actually makes both movies a lot better though.
It really does.